of the Union capital, barely a few kilometers from the Prime Minister's residence as the crow flies. Jamia Millia Islamia, that positions itself as the cradle of tolerance, that protested the CAA because it was anti-Muslim and therefore anti-secular and prejudiced against minorities, has in fact been exposed as a den of Hindu phobia. As viewers, one of the biggest hypocrites in town. The Hindus, viewers, have always been in a minority in Jamia. But over the last 10-15 years, their numbers have dwindled. Hardly any students or faculty belonging to the Hindu community either enrolls or works in Jamia anymore. A fact-finding committee constituted by an NGO conducted an investigation into complaints by a number of non-Muslim, essentially Hindu faculty members, students and non-educational staff about systemic discrimination based on religion in Jamia. Viewers, Jamia talks about how the CAA was against minorities. Viewers, here Muslims in Jamia are in the majority. But they are not following, they are not practicing what they preach. This persecution had allegedly led to a sharp drop in number of non-Muslim students and staff on the university campus over the last decade or so. The NGO that calls itself Call for Justice constituted an inquiry panel headed by retired Justice SN Dhingra and many other members, including former Delhi Police Commissioner SN Srivastava. There was an IS officer as well, viewers, as a member from the Muslim community aboard this fact-finding commission. The fact-finding panel came out with this report. It's more than, viewers, 100 pages, and the fact-finding panel has, through a series of interviews, pieced together a shocking account of systemic bullying of Hindus to convert, disparage their faith or denounce their gods. Most of the interviews have revealed that those that have deposed before this panel have said that if they didn't comply by either converting, can you believe it, viewers, or denouncing Hinduism, they were discriminated against in a variety of ways, chiefly denied their degrees, promotions, or even perks that were available to others of their rank and status, viewers. Let me take you through some of these hair-raising testimonials. Now, viewers, these are just one lines to get the gist of all of it, because if you were to read through the details, you will be absolutely shocked. It makes for very grim reading. CW1, and the names have been deliberately omitted. They are only known, of course, to this fact-finding committee because there could be the fear of reprisals. Assistant professor has come out and said promotion as associate professor stopped because she refused to convert to Islam. CW2, who deposed, has come out and this is a faculty member. Hindu assistant controller of examination claims he was denied amenities because he was, quote, kafir, unquote. They said, convert, we'll give you everything you want. And everything you want, viewers, was what was already deserved. They were not going to give him some extra perks or anything. They were just holding back everything that was actually deserving, that he deserved to get, all the various perks of office that go along with that designation. CW3, a faculty member, he said faculty members, two of them, Sara Begum, Farhana Khatun, put pressure to convert to Islam and marry a Muslim. Another professor, Amutul Halim, said if she didn't convert to Islam, acid would be thrown on her face. I didn't convert, so was denied promotion. I moved, the High Court got relief. CW4, a faculty member says 2 months after joining as assistant professor, one Dr. Syed Shahid Ali handed over a copy of Holy Book and scheduled discussions on Islam. CW5, another faculty member, and CW6, an admin staff, both said were asked to read the Holy Book. Their promotions held up because they resisted. CW11, staff member, has said that joined university in 2007 in a clerical position. Within 6 months of joining, was bullied by Muslim colleagues into converting to Islam as scheduled castes, he was told, are not respecting in Hindu society. So you better convert. CW13, staff member, joined university in 2007, was routinely invited for offering namaz, warned against saying namaste, forced to say salam alaikum. Colleagues would often condemn Hindu practices and traditions. He named 2 female students who converted to Islam under pressure. CW16, a PhD student, has come out and said applied for fellowship, faced constant religion-based taunts from Muslim colleagues and teachers. CW17, a Muslim employee, says there's a nexus between professors and student Islamic organization like the Campus Front of India, which is a student wing of the Popular Front of India, even the PFI, Tablighi Jamaat, to convert non-Muslims in the university. CW19 is a student. Muslim students would often force non-Muslim students to read the Holy Book, prevented from marking Hindu religious festivals. Now, viewers, after this report emerged, and yours truly tweeted it and got access to it, caught out, Jamia Millia Islamia has admitted that non-Hindus were discriminated against. But by the administration under past vice-chancellors, the Jamia authorities have assured that things have changed. Here's what they say, and I quickly quote them. Unfortunate that our secular fabric has been questioned. Caste-based discriminations incidents were reported in the past. Incidents reported in previous tenures of the administration. All incidents were dealt with insensitively by former VCs. So they admit that these people's complaints were dismissed out of hand. Goes on to say incidents either dealt with insensitively or ignored. Apparent change towards all employees under the new administration. Zero tolerance now for discrimination under the new administration. Viewers, of course, we can only take them at face value, but if they were so interested in ensuring that a precedent would be set so that nothing like this would repeat, why aren't all these individuals against whom complaints were made, who were part of this Islamist bully circle, not either suspended, expelled, or booked by the police, viewers? Jamia's descent into Islamic exceptionalism, Hindu phobia, has been long in the making, raising questions about the commitment of a certain influential section of Muslims to secularism and national unity. Consider these hard facts, viewers. On 22nd January 2024, on the day of the consecration of the Ram Mandir, police personnel were deployed outside the Jamia Millia Islamia after students raised slogans such as "Strike for Babri," unquote. So, viewers, they wanted to strike for Babri on that day. There was communal tension. This is Jamia. Hard fact 2. On the 23rd of October 2024, police report claims that Muslim students at Jamia Millia Islamia University disrupted the Diwali celebration event on the campus. They chanted Palestine Zindabad and religious slogans. They even came and wiped out, according to some of the non-Muslim students, the rangoli on the ground that was put forth for Diwali celebrations. Hard fact 3, 23rd December 2019. I'm taking you 5 years back. Jamia Millia Islamia Professor Dr. Abrar Ahmed said, although Hinduism has been pitched as synonymous to Sanatan Dharma, but this Dharma gives a hierarchical supremacy of Brahmins in the Varna system. Viewers, would some of these professors, etc., turn on their own faith and examine it critically? I'm not saying that faith should not be examined, but apply the same yardstick. Hard fact 4, 24th October 2019, Palestine flags are raised at Jamia Millia Islamia protesting event with Israeli collaboration. University says no Israeli delegate will be allowed henceforth. Viewers, they're a law unto themselves today. And Hindus are being treated like dirt. The visuals on your screen, viewers, are of 3 separate incidents. Let me tell you this. One, on the extreme left, right in the center of your screen, was in that Diwali event when the Rangoli was stubbed out by feet, rubbed out, and the Hindus were corralled and asked not to mark their festival. In the middle, viewers, is at the height of the CAA protests, when certain slogans were raised. You all know them, viewers. I don't want to go over them. And on the right, of course, is SN Srivastava, member of the fact-finding committee, alongside other members when they were making this report public. And now this report has been submitted to the Lieutenant Governor. Let's go straight across to first the fact-finding committee members. The former Commissioner of Delhi Police is here with us, who is, of course, SN Srivastava. And he has been one of the authors of this particular report. Also, Ravi Harjai, who's the secretary, Call for Justice, the NGO that got together this committee to investigate this entire matter. Now, let me start with you, Mr. Srivastava. What was the reason you set up this inquiry committee?
The inquiry committee was not constituted by us. Right. It was constituted by an NGO by the name Call for Justice. And the NGO is created to look into those injustices which are happening in any part of the country. So they take up such cases. So when the NGO got this information about Jamia Millia Islamia, where there are forced conversion, harassment and discrimination, and also that the number of students, Hindu students, are falling. I mean, normally the percentage of Hindu students in any university is on the higher side.
Yes.
But here it is only 5 to 10%. And also look into any anti-national activities which is taking place. So this was the NGO. They constituted a committee, and the terms of reference was on these lines, and they asked us to conduct an inquiry. The committee was constituted by, headed by Justice retired SN Dhingra, and which comprised me, an IAS officer, Narendra Kumar, and 2 advocates, and also 1 assistant professor, Mr. Nadeem Ahmed, was also part of the committee.
So even from the minority community, there was representative. Now, what are the main findings, sir, of your report, Mr. Srivastava?
The main findings is that there is a lot of discrimination against the minority students community there, or minority teaching faculty community there. When I say minority, that means Hindu and maybe a few Sikhs also. Against them, there is a discrimination, there is a harassment. And most of the harassment is, number one, Hindus and Muslims are not treated at par. The Hindus are looked down upon. The Hindus don't have the freedom of organizing some celebratory functions related to Hindu religion, whereas likewise the Muslim festivals are organized in the university campus. That can happen. Number of teaching faculty, non-teaching faculty, students and ex-students belonging to Hindu community, yes, they came forward and deposed before the committee, saying that pressure is exerted on them to convert to Islam. And if they disagree, then they're harassed. There's a discrimination against them. And the whole atmosphere in the university, Jamia Millia University, is such that it is very discouraging for any Hindu boy or girl or any faculty member to join them. And that is why the number of students have come down to 5 to 10% only.
5 to 10%. Mr. Srivastava, did the non-Muslims or Hindus or Sikhs who are there, who are facing this discrimination, ever complain to the authorities, to Jamia authorities, the police, or even try to move the courts if all of these people fail to address their problems and concerns?
Yes, all the three has happened. First of all, as you know, in university, the first point of complaint is the university officials themselves. So in most of the cases, they have complained against the university officials. And they're also in the fear that if they go to the police or to the court, then they will be, the harassment will be more. But some students have gone to the police. As I'm given to understand that the response from the police also has not been very favorable.
Oh.
And in one particular case, one Ram Nivas, he went to the High Court and regarding the minority status of the university, and the case is pending yet still.
Well, let me bring in Mr. Ravi Harjai, who runs this NGO. Now, Mr. Harjai, many of the depositions suggested that these victims were being pressured to convert. What can you tell us?
Yes. It is not only that. There was a, very suggestive kind of thing, that if you are saying hello, you are not answered. So you are answered in a different language and in a different version. Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. So that is welcome. So it's a way of, telling them what you are doing is not correct. Forget about Ram Ramji or other things. Vande Mataram, all these things were without having any kind of a written notification. It was a notified thing that these things are not welcome here. And following the belief, recently you must have seen in the media as well as in the news report that the people with due permission from the authority, they wanted to celebrate Diwali, they were prohibited to do that. And there were people who from the within the university students, co-students, and the people even from the outside, they rammed into that. They destroyed the Rangoli and they destroyed the diyas.
Yeah, we have pictures of that. Yes.
Celebration of Diwali. So beliefs. This is one example, and there are many other such examples where these beliefs were, destroyed like that.
So, Mr. Harjai, let me ask you, there are references in this report to the fact that Tablighi Jamaat and other radical Islamist organizations had access to the university hostels.
Yes, to our knowledge, it is there. The Tablighi Jamaat and other such outfits, very nearby, they have taken huge spaces and they are running their training centers, they are running their other kind of, schools, madrasas, etc., etc. And the Maulvis and other people have a free run into the campus. They are not at all subject to verification of their I-card. Nothing is checked. So they are free. This is what has come to our knowledge.
Well, let me bring in Mr. Srivastava. Now, many people will say, and there have been some talk, that these complainants who have come to you, deposed before you, were not promoted, etc., because they were underperforming or deficient, therefore, in some of their services that they were providing. And therefore, they are now cooking up stories to basically get back at this university. How do you respond to that? Was there evidence in your mind of this, or are these cases pretty watertight?
This is not the correct situation because, in one particular case, an MEd Master of Education, MEd course lady who was doing the course, she was told that unless she converts to Islam, she will not be able to complete the course. It was told very openly to her. And she was also then asked to, marry a faculty member there. She was already a married woman. And when her husband died, the harassment and the pressure on her was much more to convert. Okay. The question that you asked me about, that this is a cooked up story. You see, there it was found that many a times even the interview letter, which was supposed to be sent to a teaching faculty for promotion to the higher rank, that was not sent to them, and they came to know about this from other sources. That interview is slated, and they tried to go there. There was umpteen steps in the report which we have given to the public to see. There are umpteen steps have been taken to harass and discriminate.
Well,
there's no reason for anybody.
I'll tell you to cook anything up. I get it, sir. I think what you're saying is there is documentary proof. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Harjai and Mr. Srivastava, for sharing your report and its details with us. Let's open this up. We are joined by BJP's IT cell in charge, a national spokesperson, Amit Malviya. Mr. Malviya, what happens next? And what does this tell you about the state of affairs?
Rahul, I think this is a very important debate, and the report that has now found its way into the public domain is of great significance. We know that the Aligarh Muslim University case, as far as its status as minority institution, is now pending before the Supreme Court. And Jamia Millia Islamia is in the same league, and like so, other institutes. Now, let's come to this particular situation. It is a very well-known fact that these institutions are funded by taxpayers' money. Yet, you see this kind of discrimination against non-Muslims. The larger issue here is that the Congress party has systematically removed reservations from these minority institutions, reservations which are constitutionally mandated for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and the OBCs. Now, Indira Gandhi did that with the Aligarh Muslim University way back in 1981. And Jamia Millia Islamia is a fairly recent phenomenon in 2011, when the Congress-led UPA did away with these reservations and designated it as a minority institution only for the Muslims. Now, I have a problem with this. If the taxpayers are funding this institution, then why should it be only for a particular community, that too on religious basis? Why aren't reservations provided? And is the taxpayers' money being used to push the Muslims further in a ghetto, which is exactly what this report points to? And lastly, these higher learning educational institutes are supposed to be centers of excellence where students come, they mingle with new ideas, fresh ideas, they engage with liberating thoughts, and they widen their horizons. What the Congress seems to have done is that they have converted these minority institutions into glorified madrasas, and they've done so purely for the purpose of appeasement and vote bank politics. There's a much larger background to this, but for now, this is a very troubling report.
Okay.
And I think the Supreme Court, which is seized with the matter, must take this up along with the AMU and ensure that this reverse discrimination that exists against the Hindus is completely done away with, and there aren't any minority institutions, particularly if they are funded by the central government or, for that matter, taxpayers' money anywhere else.
Well, viewers, I've written a piece on this, not just exactly on this story, but on the AMU's Supreme Court judgment. And it's you can read it in the Open magazine. You'll get a better sense of really what the problem here is. But I want to open this up because I have Atikur Rahman, I have Abhijit Mitra also, and Shahid Ali. Mr. Atikur Rahman, you know, I've been reading a large number of comments that have been coming in. The BJP says that this is undeniable Hindu phobia, that it's not that the Muslim that is endangered in this country, it's actually the Hindus, because you refuse to accept the basic fundamental, which is that we are a secular, inclusive country. Whether it is in Kashmir or now in Jamia, you want to create little enclaves of Muslim exceptionalism. How do you respond to this, sir?
Rahul, if this report of the NGO is true, it's very serious, it's condemnable because Islam does not permit any forced conversions. But look at the tragedy. The BJP IT cell chief, Mr. Amit Malviya, did not speak anything about the report.
No, one second, just one second, Mr. Rahman, just one second. You talked about, you said that there is no sanction for forced conversions, etc., etc. Then what is happening in Bangladesh?
Bad, very bad.
No, and
Not
why aren't you
permitted.
speaking about it? All
Allah
your
will
eyes are
spare
on,
them.
all your eyes are on Fatah and Rafah and God alone knows what else, but they're not on Dhaka. Why?
My eyes are on the Constitution of India.
Well, if they're on the Constitution of
eyes are
India,
on
so
the
then answer me,
Constitution of
sir.
India.
Should Jamia Millia Islamia be shut down?
Yeah.
Should their certification be taken away? Should
Article
this
30.
minority, no, hang on, should this
Article
minority,
30.
no, should this minority status be
Article
scrapped?
30.
They're using taxpayer money to push a communal agenda. And you're laughing.
Article 30, Rahul, Article 30. You can't scrap Article 30. The rights of the minority to establish and manage their own institutions.
Wow. So to do this.
Don't you agree with
to
the
this? No,
Constitution
I'm
of
sorry,
India?
sir. If you break the law, you will be answerable. You have all the right, but you cannot pervert
Yes,
the right.
yes.
You can't
That's
pervert
why I
the
said
right.
it's
You can't. No.
condemnable.
What do you mean it's condemnable? That's all.
It's condemnable.
No,
Yes.
hang on. There have been hang on, just a
punish
minute.
them.
No, just
Punish
a minute.
them.
Oh, punish them,
Held-
right?
held
So
them
why haven't they
guilty.
been punished, sir?
I'm not opposed
Why
to this.
haven't they been punished all this while?
They should
because
be. Have
but
the
why
matter
haven't
gone
they
to
been?
the
Why
court?
has this been
Have the
covered
matter
up by?
gone to the
No, one
court?
second. Why have these issues been covered up for 15, 20 years? Why, sir?
Why?
Why was
Why?
that the normal?
Who is to
You
answer?
normalized
Where is the
hate in a
accountability?
university
Held them
in the heart of
responsible.
Delhi?
I am not opposing them.
Oh wow. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, would you
Yes,
like
in
to
the heart of
respond
Delhi.
on the
And
day
that too,
of the
11 years
consecration?
of BJP rule.
No, one second, Mr. Iyer Mitra.
So
On the day of the
astonishing, Rahul.
consecration of Ram Mandir, police personnel were deployed outside this university where the peacefuls were gathering to do what? They were raising slogans and organizing a strike for Babri. You know, this is a phrase that has been borrowed from that woke German,
Yes. So, Rahul, if you remember, the Delhi riots, that metastasized into the so-called Shaheen Bagh, was aided, abetted by Jamia Millia staff and faculty. If you remember, it all started off with the Seelampur riots. And then there was rioting in Okhla and places like that. The police started beating up those rioters. They all ran into Jamia Millia, pretended to be students out there. The faculty there actively connived with them. And then they put on this complete charade of a peaceful protest at Shaheen Bagh. If you remember, my colleague Gunja Kapoor, who had worn a burqa to go and film inside, was held hostage by those thugs at Shaheen Bagh, provided protection by Jamia Millia students and staff and whatnot, the hostage takers. And she was roughed up, her phone was seized, she still hasn't got her phone back, and she's still in post-traumatic stress. Jamia Millia, ever since, it was always a thoroughly communal organization. This is not the first I'm hearing of it. What I'm seeing right now is validation of the things we've been hearing. But the real rot started under Mushirul Hasan. Mushirul Hasan was one of the most toxic people around, a fraud historian who used to write complete and utter trash. He was made vice chancellor by guess who? None other than the Congress. And he proceeded in 2004 onwards he turned it into Pakistan. His idea of India was that it should become a Pakistan. So let's be very clear. This isn't Jamia Millia Islamia. It's Harkatul Jihad or something like that in Delhi.
Well, those are very strong words, very strong words there.
Unfortunately. But what is
Unfortunately,
happening
strong
out
words,
there?
he says.
This is exactly what has happened.
No, but one
This
second.
is
Let me bring in
exactly what has
Shahid Ali.
happened.
Let me bring in
You
Shahid
tell
Ali.
me, this is what we see in Pakistan. How can this be happening in India?
Shahid
You
Ali,
see girls getting being abducted, being forced to convert one way or the other out there. How is this any different?
no, I mean, this is shocking hypocrisy on what is known as inclusiveness that is espoused. These Jamia students and the faculty held massive demonstrations in Delhi at a time when a foreign dignitary was coming here. There were riots, people running through the streets of colonies in South East Delhi. And Mr. Shahid Ali, I want to ask you a fundamental question. All of this doesn't apply. When you are in charge, then you can be anything. Is that what is happening here?
Rahul, I am really surprised from the basic introduction of your report, as
Not
well
my
as
report, sir.
propagating the report to be fact-finding.
Not report. This is not my report. Please understand
This is
this.
the story.
What do you mean story? These are the facts that are in the report.
This is the propaganda, nothing else.
Oh, it's a propaganda.
This is the propaganda report, nothing else.
It's a propaganda
This
report.
is propaganda, nothing else. This report.
Documentation
is not
exists, sir.
substantiated. This
There is
report
no.
is
I'm sorry.
ill-motivated report.
No document.
This is
documents,
ill-motivated report.
Ill-motivated report.
And I appreciate you.
Viewers-
I appreciate you for one thing.
Viewers,
I appreciate you one thing.
these
For one thing.
individuals,
Rahul, please.
these
Please
individuals
have
call for the
patience,
ban on the
have
RSS.
patience.
They call for
You
the
put a
ban on the
question to
Bajrang
Mr.
Dal.
Srivastava,
Yeah.
that what has happened when the matter, if the matter was reported to police or to the court, then what he said and what follows from his statement, that it can easily be concluded that all reports were found to be false because police has not taken any action. The court till date has not taken any action. Why? Because all such reports must have been found to be false.
Must have
all
been
such reports, all such incidents. And there are no, you also put a very good question. I appreciate you for that as well. Are there any evidences to that? And
So he
has
said there
no
were.
answer.
There
Mr.
is
Srivastava
no.
had
There
no
were.
answer.
There are
Then-
letters.
no.
There is correspondence.
There is no evidence.
It is mentioned
There
here,
is no
sir, in
evidence.
this
He may
report.
say anything.
It
Sir,
is
may say
mentioned in the
anything.
report. This
He may
report has
write
been
down
signed.
any statement
This
of
report
anybody.
has been signed by
He
all
may
these
write
people.
down any
Please, sir.
statement
I
of
mean,
anybody,
don't try
whether
to.
that
Don't try
statement
to. Don't
is
try to
supported by
today. Don't
Sir,
try to
is
today.
that statement supported
Don't
by an evidence?
try to today.
Evidence is something
bury
else
this
than the
entire
statement.
issue.
The
This is
statement may be
standard
written.
default.
Statement may be cooked up.
Oh,
Statement.
wow.
Sir, statement has been actuated on account of the fact that the Jamia is a
Right.
minority institution. Aligarh has now got the minority institution
So, viewers-
status. Therefore, this has been causing immense pain in the stomach of those persons who hate Muslims.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Yes.
This report is nothing but only propaganda in order to serve the purposes of the
So,
RSS
viewers,
and those people who hate
okay,
Muslims.
one second.
Nothing
Now
else.
you've said quite a bit. I just want to make a point. Viewers, if that is the case, why is it that non-Hindus are not enrolling anymore in Jamia? Why have their numbers collapsed to the point that they have? Why is it that this particular...
this is
One
also-
second.
this is also false.
One second.
This is also a false statement.
Oh, really? Is it a false
This is also
statement?
a false
Is it a false
statement.
statement, sir?
And the Holy
Please
and
look
the
at
Diwali was
the
celebrated
website.
on that day.
Please look at the website.
Sir,
You will
that
see
was
the information.
celebrated on
I'm not
that
talking about
day.
Holi and Diwali. I am
We
talking
gave
about the
statement of
recruitment and the
various
enrollment
students.
in
Those
Jamia
who
Millia
just
Islamia.
say
Don't try
that
to,
Diwali was
excuse me, I don't want to
celebrated
bandy words with you,
full
sir.
Joy.
One second,
With
one
full
second.
joy. It was celebrated.
One second.
And this was only in the evening when RSS people had come.
Okay,
and said
right,
that, no,
right.
Diwali
Yes,
are
sir.
not
All
being
RSS, all
permitted.
RSS comes,
So this
all
is happening.
RSS comes. Yes,
So this
Mr.
all is
Malviya, quick
nothing,
response.
nothing else than the
Quick
propaganda.
response, Mr. Malviya. Let's
Look,
get into this. Yeah.
Rahul,
Yes.
the truth of the matter is that the report cites several pleas to the High Court, and the High Court are having to intervene to
Yeah.
ensure that people who were discriminated found favor with the law or the statute of the university. But having said that, I heard Atikur Rahman speak about Article 30, and if you give me a couple of minutes,
Yeah.
I want to bury this ghost of Article 30 forever. The Constitution under Article 30 and 29 was first wrongly interpreted by a judicial judgment of the 1957 in the Kerala Education Act. Subsequently, for almost 3 or 4 decades, it continued to be interpreted as if the minorities have rights over and above the majority. It actually led to several orders and sects moving out of Hinduism, causing a reverse discrimination of sorts. Later, between 2002, 2003 and 2005, several judicial judgments actually corrected this anomaly. But the Congress introduced the 93rd Amendment in 2005 and inherently made this law lopsided in favor of the minorities. Subsequently, these laws were challenged, but the Supreme Court overruled the challenge. Having said that, Article 30 has been misinterpreted over the decades through several judicial judgments, and I am hopeful that when the Supreme Court looks at the Aligarh Muslim University, it will look at Article 30, amendment to Article 15(5) in entirety and ensure that no discrimination or reverse discrimination exists between the Hindus and the minorities, or for that matter, non-minorities in that sense. And it's quite ironical that I have to make this point in a Hindu majority country where it's the Hindus who have been discriminated, their rights to take away or run educational institutes as they deem fit has been taken away. They have been put under more scrutiny, while the minorities have been let away. And minorities in our country, unfortunately, today has come to mean Muslims. It almost seems like there is no other minority in this country. This aberration has to be corrected.
Viewers,
so
let me just...
Article 30 not be used as a bogey argument.
No, they will use everything
Rahul,
and anything. Yeah, but I just want to say something. No, one second. I don't have the time. 1 second. Now, viewers, when complaints were made, action is expected. Action is expected. Some process is initiated. That process is not shared with the complainant. So what does one of the complainants do, viewers? He goes to the RTI. The RTI gets out the documents, and those documents were then, viewers, submitted to the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. There are several such cases of records of communication between the complainants and the university's management. In some instances, the university is even acknowledging, but no action is taken, viewers. Conspiracy of silence. That's because in this country, the ecosystem has to create a narrative. And that narrative is that Muslims have no rights in this country, viewers. That's what's really happening. I'm going to move on because this matter will be pursued by CNN News 18. We will ensure that the police gets into it, and those individuals who have been named in this report will be brought to book. Now, viewers, I want to move on. Karnataka is broke. In 2022-2023, Karnataka's fiscal deficit was 2.14% of its GDP, and it increased to 2.67% in 2023-24. Estimates indicate it may balloon to 2.95% by 24-25, that is by the end of this fiscal year. It has huge outstanding debts at rupees 5.53 lakh crores and could touch 7.24 lakh crores by 2026-2027. Viewers, those are huge numbers. It is yet to pay 34,000 crores towards interest payments. But you don't know this looking, viewers, at the whopping sums of money splurged by the government on the Chief Minister's office. Wooden flooring, luxurious recliners, premium bath fittings, premium luxurious lightings, corporate-style makeover of antechamber, light decor, items procured from premium companies, and the renovation cost has ballooned to 2.5 crores, viewers. If the state is broke, where did the money to refurbish the CMO come from? The answer is your pocket. Through an increasing array of taxes, power tariff hiked by rupees 2.89 per unit for those consuming over 200 units of electricity since July 1st, 2023. Sales tax on petrol and diesel up by 3.92 or almost 4% and 4.1% since 15 June this year. Karnataka ups the stamp duty fee by 200% to 500% for all non-registrable items since February 2024. Nandini milk prices increased by 2 per litre since June 25 this year. 1000 ml packet costs rupees 44. Cornered. The state government has been trying to paper over the expensive and glossy makeover, saying money has been spent to repair seepage. If this is true, it would have been the most expensive paint job undertaken in recent times. The government, in its defense, has said, and I quote, and this is something that has been communicated to our Bengaluru bureau chief, who's broken this story. Harish Upadhyay has been in the news because he's brought out a large number of other stories about Waqf, land grab, etc. You know of him. It's a renovation not over Vastu-related concerns. Renovation work due to seepage in walls. Leakage prompted renovation in work. Viewers, I can understand you can repaint the walls. You can plaster them. You can even waterproof them. But you will not go around changing all the different accoutrements that are in the CMO. So while the CM sits pretty in his glitzy office, you face the brunt of civic apathy. Here's what the tax you pay, viewers, gets you. Look at the right of your screens. Road congestion and traffic snarls, lack of proper signage affecting IT corridor, improperly designed flyovers and subways, urban flooding, persistent potholes, littered public spaces, inefficient waste management, electricity outages, drinking water scarcity, you name it, there's a problem. I want to open this up and I want to ask some very serious questions tonight. But first, I want to get the citizens' point of view. RN Capital's Mr. Pai is here with us, Mohandas Pai. I've come to you because you're not politically aligned to the BJP or any of these factions officially, Mr. Pai, and I just have to ask you as a citizen who pays taxes, how do you feel about this report? Are we hyping something?
Rahul, I think it is terrible that Chief Minister Siddaramaia's government is purging money like this. I wouldn't begrudge him if he spends money on his office when the state finances are in good shape. To give some data, Mr. Bommai left the state in 2022-23 with a fiscal surplus of 21,600 crores. He did not spend the money and he lost the election. He should have spent the money like a good politician. He did not. And now this year, 24-25, the budget says just in 2 years, the revenue deficit is 27,300 crores. That means there's been a shift of 48,000 crores in 2 years. All the freebies are being funded by borrowings this year. Borrowings of this year has gone up to 83,000 crore in the budget from around 58,000 crore, 60,000 crore last year. That means the extra 23,000 crore is what is being spent on all these subsidies and freebies by which they buying the votes just to spend money, and there's no money for development. At this stage, Siddaramaiah should have not spent this money, should have tightened his belt and called for a cut in the salaries of all the ministers, and all they do. All ministers live in luxury. They don't cut anything for themselves. They buy new car. They do all kind of stuff. This is terrible at a time when you're facing trust. And in Bangalore, our lives have become miserable over the last 2 years, much more than any 2 years. You see, the traffic is horrendous. We had the chief minister and the deputy chief minister visit the outer ring road many times, promised to do it. We don't see progress there. Progress is very slow. And everybody says there's no money. There is no money for improvement, for roads, for traffic, and for job creation. But they are using this money for this. Look, Rahul, when you spend 3,70,000 crores, 2.5, 3 crores doesn't matter. But what is the message Siddaramaiah is sending?
Yeah, it's the optics.
It's optics message that he can splurge. He cares 2 hoots about the pain people are in the state, especially in the city of Bangalore, because they say there's no money. And I think the fiscal deficit and the revenue deficit is going out of control. And I think it's something very serious. Because, Rahul, what pains me is Siddaramaiah has been a very good finance minister for 11 years. He's been a very good chief minister for 2
Well, this is moral bankruptcy, sir.
Yes,
this is moral bankruptcy. You don't do this when you're supposed to be tightening your belts.
And increasing taxes. He's
Exactly.
the chief minister has increased one of the largest amount of taxes during his term. And, he's increased it to what? Give freebies?
No, to
spend
have a
money.
massage in his office in a chair. I mean, viewers, you're being taxed more. Your money should be used judiciously. Mr. Syed Abbas and Mr. Joshi, let me bring you in before I bring in Surbhi Hodigere. Mr. Joshi, I want to ask you, I mean, I know that we've had these conversations in a different context. We had also Mr. Kejriwal, who in fact has spent more time in jail than he has in his great palace. But he built a palace, 48, 50 crores. It was called Sheesh Mahal by some people. And it just tells you it's this, this Marie Antoinette sort of culture.
Right. So, it's a smallish debate, so I will just appreciate if you'll just give me, 1 minute to complete my point. CBI inquiry is already underway. Lieutenant General has asked for a CBI inquiry. I think the CBI inquiry is going to be conducted in a period of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years time. And the fact is going to come out as far as Mr. Kejriwal is concerned. We have had bets on national television with various spokespersons of Bharatiya Janata Party and various anchors that Kejriwal is never going to leave his Sheesh Mahal. I had a bet that he is going to resign from the chief minister and he is not going to appoint his wife as the chief minister. So truth is out in the open. It was the chief minister's residence and it was the PWD who basically estimated the cost of the project. Now, just 20 more seconds. I live in the town of Indore, which belongs to the state of Madhya Pradesh. An 80 crore rupees aircraft was purchased by the Chief Minister, then Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, which the government forgot to insure. So it met with an accident, and since it was not insured, so it could not be repaired. Now the government is going to buy a 235 or 238 crore aircraft, which is going to be a brand new aircraft again in the service of the new Chief Minister, Mr. Mohan Yadav. We talk about Karam Dam, 300 crore rupees dam. A blacklisted company was given the tender. The dam broke even before it could be constructed.
What is the point you're making? I'm not understanding.
Hold on.
Yeah, what is the point?
No, what is the point?
You'll understand. The point is that, when it comes to the opposition rule states, the eyes of the media is
now
literally,
it's,
the media has suddenly developed hawk eyes.
let me tell you, let me correct your impression, Mr. Joshi. Let me correct your impression. Whether I was in a former channel or whether I'm on this, you can please look at my Twitter handle, and I have taken on various governments for splurging. Even BJP governments for splurging. So don't now start shifting the goalpost and not answering the question. Can you imagine, viewers, this person is defending Mr. Kejriwal. 1 second. Defending Mr. Kejriwal, who when he became chief minister, you know what he said? I will never leave my modest bungalow. My two-room. No, 1 second. Did he not say this, Mr. Joshi? Yes or no? At least you're going to lie to that also. Did he say it?
Can I speak now?
No, did he say yes or no? Did Mr. Kejriwal say that he will never move into a chief minister 5-star like bungalow? I will only stay in my own home.
So that I can reply to your question.
Tell me, yes.
All I'm asking that the CBI inquiry is underway as far as the CM's residence of Delhi is concerned.
CBI
now,
inquiry.
whether
No one
CBI
is
inquiry,
answering the fundamental question. अरे सर
आप सुन तो लीजिए. तो मैं यही बोल रहा हूँ आपको कि भाई is any CBI inquiry underway as far as the Karam Dam Ghotala is concerned, as far as the purchase of a new aircraft in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh is concerned? When are we going to investigate that?
Whataboutry is not the answer today. Let the public punish all those people who are defaulting on promises. Viewers, let me tell you this. One second. And that's why I call into account these people. But let me tell you, viewers, I asked a particular question of Mr. Joshi. I said, did Mr. Kejriwal ever say that he would never waste, and these are his words, not mine, did he ever say that he will never waste taxpayer money by embracing VVIP culture and moving into official accommodation? Sir, can I say something, sir? Can I say something, sir? He said, मेरे लिए 5 bedroom वाले महल मैं नहीं चाहता. I am happy in my own home. He said these words, and I can play
He is still happy in his own home. He is not living in the CM's residence right
now. Viewers, look.
As claimed by the media.
Look at the moral depravity, viewers. Look at the moral depravity.
Look at the moral depravity.
You are being asked to pay more. You are being asked to pay more.
Of the selectiveness of the media.
No, fine. It's all, sir, media is rotten to the core. You guys are the paragons of ethos, ethics and morality. Sir, fair enough. But viewers, I agree with you, sir. You are a paragon, sir. 1 second, you're a paragon of honesty. But listen to me, viewers, power tariff has been increased. You are being charged in the state of Karnataka. Yes, you can say that, what about the BJP in that state? But BJP in that state, viewers, is not taking from your pocket. It might be taking from the pocket of people in Madhya Pradesh, which is also wrong. But viewers, in this matter, you might have your loyalties and you might say, Piyush Joshi is absolutely right. Media should be interrogating the BJP. Yeah, fine. When they are going to overstep their limit, we will. And we do. We even question them, viewers, on giving bail to Dera Sacha Soda chief and many others. I don't need to give a certificate here. But let me tell you, viewers, very, very simply this. Mr. Siddaramaiah is asking you to pay more taxes. Your salaries are shrinking in your pockets. Your pockets. And what is he using this money for? Not to fill the potholes. but to smarten up his office so he can lie in a lovely little seat and get himself massaged. And let me tell you, this is not new. In the past also, jacuzzis have been made in clubs that have been made for legislators, junkets, hundreds of junkets, MLAs in Karnataka used to go on of all types, of all parties' views. Let me tell you, and we called that out. This is a pattern. Surbi Hodigere, I want you to explain to me, why should we be making such a big song and dance? Why are you jumping around trying to play this up as some big moral remiss on the part of the Chief Minister? Explain to me.
First of all, thank you, Rahul, and the team here in Bengaluru of CNN News 18 for breaking this story. It's an incredibly important story because the Chief Minister today, Mr. Siddaramaiah, has spent a significant part of his career saying that I am somebody who has committed no wrong. I am somebody who can never be blamed for any mistake in terms of corruption, etc.
No, but this is not corruption.
Let me get to my point. This same Chief Minister is today A1 accused in the Muda scam. This same Chief Minister stood in the legislature and said that not 187 crores, a mere 89 crores has been swindled off from the ST board. There is a loss in terms of his morality. There is this the virtue signaling. The topic today is about how he's a socialist Chief Minister. We have a joke here in Karnataka. He's no longer Samajwadi, he's become Majawadi. That is where we're at. That's where we're at. He had I can't see what you're showing, Rahul.
This is Aam Aadmi CM. Kejriwal rejects VIP culture. Says no bungalow and security. No bungalow and security, viewers. This is the report.
Look, this virtue signaling.
There you are.
Taking of a moral high ground. This saying
Mr.
that
Joshi can't bring himself to admit to this. This is 2013, viewers, when Kejriwal first appeared at a breath of fresh air, which we don't get in Delhi, by the way. Viewers, we only get toxicity, and this is the toxicity over 10 years that has been built up.
Mr. Joshi, there is
Where is he living right now? Where is he living right now? Where is Arvind Kejriwal residing right now?
He's not doing us a favor. He was asked to.
No, he's not doing us.
He built a 50 crore. He built a 50 crore mansion for himself, sir. No, I don't want to get into a debate with you, sir. One second. I don't want to get into the whataboutery. If you don't have the conviction to own up to something,
I have the
then that's
conviction,
fine.
and I have enough of it. Don't worry about it.
Mr. Abbas. Let me bring in Mr. Abbas. Mr. Abbas, is this splurge justified? I'm only asking a simple question. Forget about right, wrong. Is it even justified? Yes or no?
Absolutely, Rahul Saab. You are absolutely justified in asking the same. As a matter of fact, to give you the advantage, I've seen your tweets where you've also criticized the splurging of the opposition parties and the other parties too. As a matter of fact, let me take this opportunity and honestly tell you that Mr. Pai has done a lot more for Bengaluru city than any government, as a matter of fact, and I thank him for tweets. I remember during Bamai's time, one tweet of his on potholes made a difference. And Bamaiji took note of that, and thanks to that. And rightfully, he said he's been a fantastic finance minister for several years. Who? Siddaramaiah ji. Now coming directly to the point, the fact of the matter is, Rahul Saab, I have been 3 times to the Chief Minister's office, and I can tell you the wooden flooring that we see, the furniture we see is the same. It might have been refurbished, but of course, from what I hear from my sources, the bathroom there has been sanitary work which is done, seepage of the walls is fixed. Is it 2.4 crore? I do not know. But yes, your news sources are right, renovation is going on. If it is in crores, it can be criticized. But if it is within a budget of the Vidhan Sauda, like we say, Sarkar da kelsa, Devra kelsa. Government's work is God's work as inscripted on the Vidhan Sauda. Let me also tell you and bring to your notice, very importantly, since we are mentioning about other governments too, Modi ji's government spent 3,600 crore on self-promotion. Deccan Herald, Business Standard, BJP states splurging taxpayers' money on government's 3rd anniversary ads. Not just that, 92 nations, 55 months, Modi's travel cost hits 2,000 crore. Modi ji's travel. Now, official figures which will startle my BJP friend from pmindia.gov.in, official website of the government of India. His Bhutan trip, only the chartered flight incurred 2 crore. Brazil trip, 20
May I
crore.
please come in and remind
Japan,
you?
30
Yeah,
crore.
but you know,
USA.
let me tell you, Mr. Abbas, one second. Foreign travel. No, one second. Just one very quickly.
Just the chartered
One
flights
second,
I'm
just
talking
one
about.
second. No, yes, on an official tour, on an official visit, sometimes you have to spend all this money to get to place. But viewers, when the investment comes from these places or there are concomitant benefits, they come to the economy, not to Mr. Modi's pocket. So I'm only saying, viewers, let's be a little more. I am not here. I asked the question, is this justified? I don't think it is, especially if it's a broke state, if it's a really badly off state which is not being able to, as Mr. Pai has said, make ends meet. I remember Sonia Gandhi, when she was in power, she said that we must tighten our belts. And cattle class, quote unquote, was introduced and Shashi Tharoor had a problem with it. You'll all remember that tweet by Shashi Tharoor, viewers. Got him into a lot of trouble with his own government, with Dr. Manmohan Singh, who said, no, we need to stop traveling as VVIPs in business class, etc., go by economy class. He called it cattle class. Yes, very quickly, Surbhi Hodigere, make your point very quickly.
The problem that we have, Syed Abbas, here is that every spending of the government, 70%, the seepage is going into their pockets. There is rampant corruption here in Karnataka. The development funds that were supposed to be given for Bengaluru, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar has said, I'm not going to give it to a particular constituency because the MLA did not kneel out, did not be respectful towards me.
Yes.
This is the sort of government that
I just want to say one thing,
Karnataka.
and these are some hard facts which I just want to put out. 85 lakh grant. 1 second. 85 lakh grant for the whole of Doda Balapur constituency, but 2.5 crores for CM office renovation. Viewers, think about that.
अरे हाँ सच में।
क्यों? आज ऑफिस को छुट्टी है क्या?
हम अभी ऑफिस से ही तो आए हैं।
फिर इतने जल्दी घर कैसे?
ये कोस्टल रोड से और मैं मेट्रो से।
और कल अटल सेतु से लोनावाला जाने का प्लान है।
पर तुमने कभी ये सोचा है अगर दूसरी सरकार होती तो ये सब काम वक्त पे होता?
इसीलिए मेरा वोट सिर्फ भाजपा महायुति को। भाजपा महायुति है तो विकास है।
तुझे ऐसे कभी इमेजिन नहीं किया रे?
मैंने भी। आप कब बन रहे हैं मान्यवर?
अबे उल्लू, क्या कर रहे हो?
कपाल भाती। यहाँ ऑर्डिनरी प्लाई जैसे हार्मफुल गैसेस नहीं है। खुल के सांस लो।
हाँ, यहाँ सब ग्रीन प्लाई, जीरो एमिशन प्लाई से तो बना है। अबे 1 मिनट, हम भी करते हैं।
शाबाश। ग्रीन प्लाई का जीरो एमिशन प्लाई, हेनली इंटीरियर्स का रिप्लाई।
मुथूट फाइनेंस गोल्ड ओवरड्राफ्ट। अपने सोने को हमारे सुरक्षित लॉकर्स में डिपॉजिट कीजिए। उस सोने पर 24/7 क्रेडिट लाइन लीजिए और फिर पैसे एक बार लीजिए या बार बार, आपके हाथ में है। कम या ज्यादा आपके हाथ में है, घर में या ब्रांच में आपके हाथ में है। और जानते हैं सबसे बड़ी बात, ब्याज सिर्फ उतने ही दिन का भरिए जितने दिन पैसे इस्तेमाल कीजिए। जी हाँ, मुथूट फाइनेंस गोल्ड ओवरड्राफ्ट। आज ही कॉल कीजिए 1-800-313-1212। गोल्ड लोन कमाल, बाकी लोन बेमिसाल।
Deal is locked, babe. I'll see you at the fest.